Morning, more questions than answers as the investigation intensifies into that massive house explosion happened in Fairfax County. And for a third day, dozens of Centreville families are waking up away from home. And officials warn more evacuations, they could happen. At least 30 homes remain under evacuation orders. Fire crews are taking hourly gas readings.
Levels have improved, but the source of the leak has still not been identified.
Officials also say if more homes must be cleared, then residents would receive 3 hours notice.
We want to know what happened. We want to know how long this is, are we safe? Are our homes safe? And it seems like right now they have it in hand and they're all monitoring very closely. Could this have been prevented? What happened? We just don't know.
Now, officials stress this remains a fluid situation. About 50 homes are still without gas this morning. The NTSB has now joined the investigation, looking at human factors, the pipeline system, and the operating environment.
Well, joining us now to break down what this investigation could involve is Ravi Chhatre, former NTSB accident investigator with decades of experience in pipeline cases like we're looking at here. Thanks for joining us. Let's get right into it. You spent 20 years at the NTSB investigating accidents just like this one. So what can you share about the first steps when the NTSB GO team arrives at the scene?
NTSB is an independent federal accident investigation agency, and the goal is to promote safety in transportation. NTSB is charged by Congress to investigate accidents in modes of transportation, aviation, marine, railroad, highway, and of course pipeline. Products are transported through pipelines like gasoline, natural gas, so it is a transportation accident, and NTSB has primary jurisdiction with all federal agencies.
All right, we're hearing
now.
I didn't mean to cut you off there, but we're hearing there are as many as 6 gas lines in that area. Some maintained by Washington Gas, some maintained by the Williams Pipeline Corporation. What challenges does that present in trying to find out of where the leak is actually coming from?
It little bit depends upon what kind of pipeline is leaking. If it's a transportation pipeline with very high volume going through the pipeline, it's difficult to pinpoint the leak. If it is a local distribution line, it is relatively easy to do it. I understand that there is a lot of people smelled odor. That means the natural gas has odorant in it, and that might help isolate which lines are likely leaking.
So officials here, sir, have talked about gas seepage underground. So how does that happen? And how can that eventually lead to what we saw here, an explosion?
Well, natural gas by itself is color and odorless. So the mercaptans or odorants are purposely added in the gas lines. That is why people smell dirty egg kind of odor to the natural gas. It is purposely added to it. And therefore, when it goes through soil might absorb the odorant, and you may or may not smell it. Now, odorant helps a little bit in detecting natural gas, but a lot of times it's really a hard work of digging holes and narrowing down the area where the gas is leaking.
All right, so we've seen the evacuation zone for this incident change a few times since Sunday. We've heard the term risk radius. How is that assessed in real time, and how does that determine whether more homes need to be evacuated?
Well, I really don't know exactly the details what they are doing, but what they will be doing is trying to find out, kind of establish circles as to which direction the gas is flowing, and they will narrow it down and kind of pinpoint a small area where the likely leak is occurring. That is why they will measure the natural gas concentration in homes. Typically, it is done in parts per million, or it can be in percentage of explosion limit, what they call it lower explosion limit or higher explosion limit, which is 5% gas in air up to 14% gas in air.
Look,
so depending upon which homes.
Before we let you go, sir, this is a really frightening situation, and I know that it's also an inconvenience for dozens of families here. So what exactly do investigators need to find before they're comfortable letting people back into their homes? This has been going on since Sunday now.
I mean, really, they need to find the leak. Unless the source is stopped, the gas will continue to migrate from the path of least resistance. So finding the source is is a very high priority. And as the gas concentration diminishes in those homes, then they will, depending upon the concentration, then they will let the people go back into their homes.
All right, that was Ravi Chhatre, a former NTSB accident investigator, giving us some insight into what's going on. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate you.
Happy to have me here.
All right.